Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Friday, 1st of August. Bloody hell. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Cambodia has urged Thailand to release detained soldiers. Zelenskiy has moved to defuse the crisis over the anti-corruption units, and 13 nations have condemned Iranian intelligence threats. So firstly, the Cambodian government has demanded the release of 20 of its soldiers who were captured 8 hours after the ceasefire between the two neighbours. The Thai government said on Wednesday that the detained soldiers were being treated in line with international humanitarian law and military regulations and would be returned when the border situation stabilised. Thai Rear Admiral stressed that the Thai military had not violated the ceasefire agreement and said that 20 Cambodian troops had surrendered to them at 8 a.m. local time on Tuesday, almost 8 hours into the ceasefire, with 2 requiring medical treatment. A Cambodian lieutenant general said that 1 other Cambodian soldier had died in Thai custody since the ceasefire, but did not provide any further details and say that his body had been returned. So what? This is the type of thing that could cause the ceasefire to collapse. These are the type of nationalistic issues that the Cambodian people will jump on and essentially stir up trouble, causing the Cambodian government to go back into the conflict, regardless if they have no chance of winning, which is likely the case in this situation. It's likely that Thailand will release these prisoners in a few days or even weeks as the situation kind of mellows out. But yeah, these are the type of issues that can absolutely railroad ceasefire agreements off the path to peace. And next, Zelenskiy has restored the independence of Ukraine's 2 main anti-corruption agencies on Thursday, moving to defuse the political crisis that had shaken the faith in his wartime leadership and worried Western partners. Thousands of protesters rallied in Kiev and other cities around the country in recent days in a rare show of discontent after lawmakers led by Zelenskyy's ruling party rushed through amendments last week defaming the respected agencies. So what? This is a great move. This, outside of just the anti-corruption parts that these agencies play, this just plays into the propaganda hand of Russia and critics of Ukraine, both in Europe and in the US, who are their main supporters. It just gives them more ammo to shit on the Zelenskiy regime and to point out all the problems. Some of them even rephrase this as protests against the government and against the conflict, and saying that the country doesn't want to fight in this war anymore, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But any videos of protests in Ukraine can be used by Russia as propaganda. So yeah, great move, awesome to see, very happy that this has been done. Also, it puts them back on the path towards possible integration into the EU further down the line as they ideally crack down on corruption in a big way. And hopefully they've also rooted out the Russian influence within these 2 organizations so they can be more effective and actually crack down on corruption within the country. And lastly, Britain and 13 allies, including the United States and France, have condemned on Thursday what they call a surge in assassinations, kidnappings, and harassment plots by Iranian intelligence services targeting individuals in Europe and North America. The governments called on the Iranian authorities to immediately stop such illegal activities. They said such actions were increasingly carried out in a coalition with international criminal networks. Iran's foreign ministry rejected the accusations as blatant fabrications and lies. So what? It's highly likely that this is true. Like, these countries are calling out Iran for good reason. And we've all seen the surge in, like, fucking firebombings, sabotage, etc. Even last night, yesterday, there was a fire on a German railway. In my post, I attributed it to Russian intelligence, as I thought that was the most likely perpetrators of a crime like this. But it's also possible that it was carried out by Iranian intelligence, but again, in the same manner. So it's the intelligence services paying criminal networks to conduct these sabotage attacks on their behalf. Their goals are to sow chaos within Western countries to try and undermine the legitimacy of the leadership and to make life feel like it's crazy. It's trying to bring that war vibe to Europe so that people feel like these conflicts are affecting them at home, when in reality, they're not. This is all just part of a wider propaganda and grey zone activity to kind of destabilize the West and make it seem worse than it is. So yeah, pretty interesting to see that these countries have publicly come out and called out Iranian intelligence, as this isn't a new change. They've been doing this type of activity for a long time now, and they're very good at it. So yeah, good to see. Very open and blunt. I'd like to see some like declassification of intelligence. That would be quite cool. But that's more of a personal thing rather than, I don't think it would add much value to their accusations outside of, countering Iran's just straight up denials of this activity. But I don't think there's many people left that believe that. So fuck them. Anyway, thank you for listening to today's Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again on Monday, I guess. See you.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.